Hello and welcome back. A lot has passed in the last week or so. So the cams are in for that split thrust 7-bolt we built a month and a half ago or whatever. So it's time to get that thing slammed together. The wife's PT just got a whole bunch of stuff done to it. That was actually at a different mechanic shop getting it done because I didn't have time to work on it. And of course, anything that can happen will happen. A shovel fell and hit the fender on that, put a dent in it. They're gonna pay for it, but now I have to straighten and repaint a fender before the car even saw the road. That's pretty cool. And I am working on this fine gem behind me. So, this week at a local farm auction, this truck went for a very cheap price. You can see it's pretty rough. Pretty rough, but it's a 2006 half-ton Ram, the 5.7 Hemi in it, automatic. Runs awesome, tranny shift's great. I snagged her up for, the tires on it are about what the truck, I paid for the whole truck, but had a miss, ended up being some plugs. Turned out radiator's bad, it's got a leak on the side, so I gotta use radiator I'm tossing in it. Hopefully that fixes a few things. Ball joint's clanging, making a bunch of noise. I don't know if I'll put one in it yet or not. The truck's got about 260,000 on it, but I bought it just for the motor, because these motors have been getting put in everything. My father-in-law does a ton of swaps. Heck, that 81 Dodge sitting there behind me, he did a swap on it. It's got one of these modern fuel-injected Hemis in it. So I'm probably gonna do something like that with this truck. Drive around for a little bit, beat on it, whatever, and then pull a driveline out of it and put it in something. I don't really know what I wanna put it in yet. He's already put them in full-size trucks. He just put one in a early 90s Dakota stick shift truck. So I'm trying to think of something cool to put it in. So if you get any ideas, post down in the comments what I should swap this Hemi into. Plan is I'm gonna yank it and I'll probably rebuild it. Maybe put a stroker kit in it, stroke it to like a 396, and maybe put a turbo on it. Run it on a Holly or something. So try to help me come up with an idea of what I should put this Hemi in. Something cool, something not the obvious. But I'm gonna keep working on switching this radiator out. Radiator is out. That's the new used one. This one's been leaking for a long time. Really hope it didn't overheat in the time it was leaking and cook a head gasket. It ran down at the auction for a good, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, got up to operating temp and just sat there, didn't overheat, but we will find out here. I'm gonna get that brand used one smacked in and see what it does. Hey everybody. So I said earlier that cams had finally made it in. So we got around to getting them put in. Sorry I didn't get any footage sooner. Music was playing, people were here talking. It makes it tough. Sorry. So, this is that split thrust 7-bolt. Brand new set of GST S3s. The plan was to put S2s in it, and they were ordered. They were back ordered, and the time came and went, and we checked up, and they were back ordered another month. Running out of time, so I got bumped up to S3s. A little bit bigger cam. It'll still work fine on the turbo, but that's where we're at. So it's time now. Got some new AEM gears, new timing belt, new tensioner, all new pulleys.
New everything.
Yeah, new crank sensor. Yeah, essentially new everything. New oil pump. So we keep plugging away here. We want to get this thing ready to drop in. It's racing season, and we want to go racing. All right, jumping in with a quick little update. Valve cover is going on. We normally will get the motors put together before we time them. We will spin the oil pump itself with a drill to prime everything. This motor, we forgot to do it. So you can put a fitting into the oil filter housing and actually fill it from there. And as you do that and spin the motor by hand, it will force oil through the gears in the pump and get it to where it needs to go. We do that, so on first start, it's not just assembly lube and everything, there's actually oil there. And a lot of times, these factory pumps, if you get them brand new and don't pack them with some kind of Vaseline or put oil in the gears or something, they might not pull prime. Even if there's oil at the pickup sock down in the pan, sometimes they don't. You will start your brand new motor and it will not pull oil and make oil pressure on its own. So this one's primed up. Valve cover is now going on. And we're gonna keep working away. All right, we're plugging along. We got, let's do this. We got all the timing covers on. Well, the upper one's not, but middle and lower are on. Fluid dampener's going on now. I do not like the factory balancer, especially if you're gonna spin above, 7,500 RPM. The rubber, I'm not even sure if it's rubber, but the insert that is inside of them can fall apart and come out. It's not a good deal. And all these balancers from the factory are super old now. I don't trust them. So when I tune a car, unless there's a balancer on it, like a fluid dampener or an ATI, which are probably even better because of the way they mount, I will not bump the rev limit above 7,500, no matter what's in the motor. If you have a balancer, then we'll go accordingly with the setup. So
all in line. Hopefully.
Yeah, this car's probably gonna have to be rev fairly high because of the setup, but it's coming along. We're getting there. All right, just here to do a little update here. It is now Sunday. We didn't get anything done on it yesterday. We stayed up way too late Friday night and pretty much were shot all yesterday. So we've been up here since 5-6 hours ago plugging away. So the new turbo setup's all on here. Got the new ARP studs on. Had to trim this one a little bit to still clear with this red jack. Feed's all on there the way we want it to be. Got the drain fabbed up for it. The angle, it's actually, they're not straight. There's 45s down inside the hose, so the hose is actually straight. It's not kinked over. Just finishing up with getting the intake manifold bolted on now, and gonna have to place an order for a few things that were missed, but it's just about ready to get bolted on.
Getting close. For sure getting close.
It's getting there. Getting there. That beautiful brand new motor with all the bling is going in this faded car.
They'll get paint this way. Performance first.
Yeah. All right. Just wrapping it up here. Got to test his factory coil packs yet. See what the resistance checks out to be on them, and that'll tell us how far they'll go, or if we need to right away build a coil and plug kit. Which, unless you're running like an ARC2 box or some kind of ignition amplifier, you don't want to run a coil and plug because it's no upgrade and could even be a downgrade from stock. So we're gonna test the coil pack, see what's needed, place an order for a few things here yet. But it's all pretty much about wrapped up now. Injectors are in there now. Some 2150s. Throttle body's on. Which on the throttle body, it's ran the same way my car is, so it's still got the factory fast idle air control valve and idle speed control motor bolted to the bottom. But you actually go in there into the bottom of the fast idle air control valve, and there's a freeze plug you knock out and take a big flathead and turn the valve all the way in so it's bottomed out, so it doesn't actually do anything anymore, but it still allows the idle speed control to control the idle on the car. So that's how I like to do them. But this is going to wrap it up here on this Sunday afternoon, and I'll have another one coming at you end of the week, which will be putting the motor into the car and getting closer. Like and subscribe.